This is the M1 carbine, a reliable semi-automatic rifle from World War II. Watch its action. The gas system cycles the rounds smoothly. It's accurate. The M1 carbine was a game changer. This is the M1 Garand, our primary rifle. It fires 30-06 rounds semi-automatic. The gas system cycles the action, ejecting the spent casing chamber in the next round. This gives our troops a major advantage in firepower. Watch it in action.
This is the M1 bazooka. It's our answer to enemy armor. Shoulder it!
This is the Browning automatic rifle, a 30 Spado Impalo floor requirement. Its reliability and portability made it a key infantry weapon.
This is the MG42, Hitler's buzzsaw. Air-cooled, fires 1200 rounds a minute. Listen to that buzz. The receiver is complex. We feed the belt in here, and a devastating weapon.
The M1 Garand, 8 shots as fast as you can pull the trigger.
This is the M1911A1 pistol, a classic stopping caliber. Watch. See the recoil? It's powerful, but reliable. This is why soldiers have trusted it for over a century. The Mauser C96 is a 70mm semi-automatic. Its long barrel and detachable magazine give it superior range and firepower. A reliable sign ejection and ready soldier.
The 45 caliber weapon, known for close quarters compound. Its 50-round drum magazine allowed for sustained rapid fire, making it ideal for trench assaults.
Let's go!
The M1903 Springfield rifle, a standard issue for the U.S. Army in the World Wars. Its 30-06 caliber round delivers excellent accuracy and stopping power, a reliable, battle-proven weapon for over 50 years.
This is the M1 bazooka. It's our answer to enemy armor. Shoulder it!
The proximity fuse, the Piedbjörn, boosted the accuracy of ACAR, safeguarding the fleet from air attacks. The fuse exemplifies how technology turned the tide in naval warfare.
All right, boys, into the breach. Watch for Krauts. Copy that, Sarge. Moving up. We're out. Take cover. Now, nice. Quick and silent. Hold the line. Notion Group 3 out. These are M183 satchel charges. Each has C4 for maximum effect. Arm the charge by pressing the switch, then throw it to the target. Fire up! Oh! These have Bangalore torpedoes. Long segmented tubes for clearing passes through wired mines. They're placed in a line, then fired in sequence to detonate. Ready!
These WODD tanks were modified with canvas screens and twin propellers, allowing them to swim ashore. Underwater, the spinning props create thrust, but this innovation was crucial for amphibious assaults, getting armor to the beaches.
Operation Pluto. Underwater pipes pumping fuel from England to Normandy, bypassing indirect threats. These innovations secured our foothold in Europe. Window! Drop the chaff now!
Look at that cloud. Millions of strips. It'll blind every radar in range.
Fritz won't see a thing but static.
That's how we own the skies. The M4 Sherman engages with direct fire. Its 75mm gun recoil on a downrange. Smoke and dust provide concealment as it repositions to fire again.
Direct fire! M4 Sherman engaging the enemy position. That's the 75mm main gun firing high explosive. Small, so. The Sherman's armor and mobility keep us in the fight. We're pushing through the debris now. How?
The incinerator. That's what we call this beast.
Oh, watch it go. The slime sweeps everything away. Nothing can stand against that heat.
This is total war.
The AVRE's up. First to strike is ours. Look at petard mortar. Real heavy punch. Now he knocks right down. Direct hit. That's how you breach a line. This is the M1 bazooka. It fires a 2.36-inch rocket from this tube. To fire, you aim and squeeze the trigger. That's how you take out a tank.
These rocket-propelled grappling hooks and ladders are borrowed from the London Fire Brigade. The hydraulic claw secures the launcher, and the rocket deploys the hook to high structures. The ladder then drops down, giving us quick access. A real game changer. We called them Higgins boats. Plywood and steel, they got us on the beaches. Eisenhower said they won the war. Today, we prove him right.
Ramps down, let's go, man! This is the Horsa glider. No engine, so it's silent. We load in a Jeek, an anti-tank gun, and tow it in the air. Once we're airborne, we release the tow and glide in silently behind enemy lines.
Rupert dummy paratroopers were burlap mannequins dropped away from real landing zones. Some were equipped with noisemakers to simulate gunfire. This lured German defenders away from actual troops. 2 massive artificial ports, codenamed Mulberry A and B, were pre-built in Britain and towed across the channel. They consisted of Phoenixes, Giant concrete cages with just freeze break.
These rocket-propelled grappling hooks and ladders are borrowed from the London Fire Brigade. The hydraulic claw secures the launcher, and the rocket deploys the hook to high structures. The ladder then drops down, giving us quick access. A real game changer. This is the German Mauser Kar 98K. To fire, you cycle the bolt like this, chambering the round. The trigger pull is clean and the recoil is sharp. Its long barrel gives it great accuracy.
The Churchill Project, Hillsdale College, it's D-Day, and the Allies are about to invade Nazi-occupied France. For the landings to succeed, American soldiers on Omaha Beach will have to break through some formidable coastal defenses. Hitler's Atlantic Wall, Sherman tanks will come in very handy, and the Allies have come up with a novel solution for getting them to the beach. These tanks will... October 13th, 2025. Unfortunately, few of these tanks ever made it onto the beaches of Normandy. Many were deployed too far out into the channel. Basic infantry tactics: the infantry used fire and movement tactics to maneuver, i.e. one subunit would fire to cover the advance of another. On D-Day, the American infantry relied on a diverse toolbox of small arms, each designed for a specific role in the chaotic fight for the beachheads. 1. The M1 Gyron, the backbone, the M1. Gyron was a standard issue rifle and the first semi-automatic rifle to be the primary weapon for any major army. Firepower advantage. While German soldiers used bolt-action rifles requiring a manual lever pull after every shot, American Gs could fire 8 rounds as fast as they could pull the trigger. The ping. It used an 8-round end-block clip. When the last shot was fired, the empty metal clip would automatically eject with a loud, metallic ping sound. Legacy. General George S. Patton famously called it the greatest battle implement ever devised. 2. The Thompson submachine gun, the Tommy gun. The Thompson M1A1 was the preferred weapon for close quarters, clearing of trenches and bunkers. High volume fire. It fired heavy .45 ACP pistol rounds at a rate of roughly 600 to 700 rounds per minute. Who carried it? It was an issue to everyone. It was primarily given to NCOs, sergeants, officers, scouts, and specialized units like Rangers and paratroopers, who expected intense, close-in fighting. Despite its power, it was heavy at 10 pounds. It weighed more than the M1 Garand. 3. The M1 carbine, the war baby. The M1 carbine was developed as a lightweight alternative for support troops, though it became a favorite of frontline leaders. Lightweight. At just 5.2 pounds, it was nearly half the weight of a Grand, making it ideal for paratroopers. Capacity. It featured a 15-round detachable magazine, allowing for more shots between reloads than the Grand. Airborne variant. Paratroopers often carried the M1A1, which featured a folding wire stock to make it more compact during jumps. 4. The Browning automatic rifle bar, the bar M1918A2, served as the squad automatic weapon, providing the heavy suppressive fire needed to keep the enemy's heads down while other soldiers moved forward. Role. Each squad typically had one barman who provided a base of fire with full auto bursts. Power. It fired the same heavy .3006 round as a Grand, but could empty its 20-round magazine in just a few seconds. 5. Specialized tools. M1911A1 pistol, the legendary .45 caliber sidearm, carried by officers, tank crews, and anyone who could wrangle one for personal protection. Bangalore torpedoes. Long pipes filled with explosives used by combat engineers to blow gaps in the massive barbed wire entanglements on the beaches. M1 bazooka. A shoulder-fired rocket launcher used specifically to target the heavy steel doors or concrete apertures of bunkers. While the Allies relied on semi-automatic firepower, the German defense of the Atlantic Wall was built around the devastating speed of their machine guns. In German doctrine, the infantry squad existed primarily to support and protect the machine. Gun 1. The MG-40 to Hitler's buzzsaw. The MG-42 was the most feared weapon on the D-Day beaches. Rate of fire. It fired between 1,200 and 1,500 rounds per minute. This was so fast that individual gunshots couldn't be heard. Instead, it produced a terrifying sound described by GIs as tearing linoleum or a giant zipper. The buzzsaw effect. At its peak rate, it could fire 25 rounds per second, capable of literally cutting targets in half. Quick change barrel. Because it fired so fast, the barrel would overheat and begin to melt after about 250 rounds. German crews were trained to swap barrels in under 7 seconds using specialized asbestos mitts. 2. The Mauser Kar-98K. The standard rifle, unlike the American M1 Garand. The Kar-98K was a bolt-action rifle, meaning the soldier had to manually cycle the bolt after every shot. Precision versus speed. While slower than the American semi-automatic rifles, the Kar-98K was exceptionally accurate and rugged. Sniper variant. It was the primary platform for German snipers, often equipped with 1.5x or 4x telescopic sights to pick off Allied officers from long distances. Production. It was the most common German weapon of the war, with over 14 million units produced. 3. The MP-40, the Schmeiser, the MP-40 was a submachine gun primarily issued to squad leaders, paratroopers, and armored vehicle crews. Close-quarter dominance, firing 9mm pistol rounds at about 500 rounds per minute. It was easy to control, and highly effective for clearing trenches or urban combat. Design. It was revolutionary for its use of stamped metal, making it cheap to mass-produce.
This is the
and its folding
MP-40,
style,
known as the Schmeiser, a 9mm submachine
which made
gun
it
with a
compact
500
for
round per minute rate of
paratroopers
fire.
jumping into
Its
Normandy.
folding stock and reliability
Fold.
made it ideal for close
Heavy
quarters
support.
combat.
The 88mm flak gun, originally designed as an anti-aircraft gun, the 88 became the most famous multi-purpose weapon of the war.
This is the
Anti-tank
dreaded
terror.
88. German
On
engineers
D-Day,
made it the most
these were
versatile and
positioned
deadly gun on the
heavy
battlefield.
concrete bunkers.
Its high-velocity shells
They
could
could
pierce
fire
any
a shell
armor,
with such
and its range
velocity that it
unmatched.
could punch through any Allied tank's armor from over a mile away. Range. Its shells could travel 3 to 4 times farther than typical Allied anti-aircraft weapons. 5. Defensive mines. Bouncing Bettys, the beaches and bluffs were littered with the S-mine, which G is nicknamed the Bouncing Betty. When tripped, a small charge would launch the mine about 3 feet into the air before it exploded, spraying shrapnel at waist height to cause maximum injury. The German defense of Omaha Beach was anchored by 15 specialized strongpoints, known as Widerstands resistance nests, numbered WN60 through WN74. These were not just single bunkers, but complex, self-contained mini-fortresses built into the bluffs overlooking the sea. 1. Anatomy of a Widerstands nest. Each nest was designed to be a killing zone that utilized several layers of defense. Interlocking fire. Bunkers were positioned to fire sideways along the length of the beach. Enfilade fire rather than straight out at the ocean. This meant an Allied soldier was often being shot at from a bunker hundreds of yards to his left or right that he couldn't even see. The Tobruk. These were small, circular concrete pits, just large enough for a machine gun team or a small tank. Turret. They were nearly impossible to see from the water and provided 360-degree protection. Concrete casemates. Massive bunkers with walls up to 12 feet. Thick-housed heavy 75mm or 88mm artillery pieces. Anti-tank ditches. Many nests, such as the infamous WN62, were protected by water-filled ditches 13 feet wide and 5 feet deep to stop any tanks that actually made it off the sand. 2. The story of Heinrich Severloh, the Beast of Omaha. The most legendary and controversial story from these nests is that of Heinrich Severloh, a 20-year-old soldier stationed at WN62. The position, WN62, was the largest strong point on Omaha, manned by about 40 men. From his foxhole, Severloh had a perfect view of the easy red and fox green sectors where thousands of Americans were landing the combat Sevelo claimed to have fired his MG4 for 9 hours straight. When the machine gun barrel became too hot, he switched to 2-car 9AK rifles to continue firing while the MG4 too cooled. The controversy. In his memoirs, Sevelo claimed he fired over 13,500 rounds and personally inflicted 1,000 to 2,000 casualties. Most historians believe these numbers are exaggerated. Total Allied casualties across the entire 6-mile stretch of Omaha Beach were roughly 2,400, while Sevelo certainly caused many deaths. It is unlikely one man was responsible for nearly all of them. The aftermath, Sevelo eventually ran out of ammunition and retreated inland, where he was captured the next day. Decades later, he became a pacifist and even befriended an American survivor, David Silva, whom he had likely shot that day. 3. Why the nests eventually failed despite their terrifying efficiency. The wider stands answer had one fatal flaw: isolation. No reinforcements. Because of the Allied deception, Operation Fortitude, and the destruction of French railways by Allied bombers, German reinforcements never arrived. Blind spots. Once American infantry reached the foot of the bluffs, they were in a dead zone where the bunkers couldn't aim low enough to hit them. Running dry, by mid-afternoon, most nests, like WN-62, had simply run out of ammunition. By early afternoon on June 6th, Omaha Beach was a scene of absolute carnage. The Atlantic Wall seemed impenetrable, and for several hours, the American generals offshore seriously considered calling off the invasion and evacuating the survivors. But the breakthrough didn't happen because of a grand plan from the generals. It happened because of a few hundred terrified, exhausted, and incredibly brave soldiers who realized they were dying on the beach and decided to move. 1. The naval gamble. The tin can captains, around 10 a.m. The situation was desperate. Seeing the infantry pinned down, several U.S. Navy destroyers like the USS Emmons and USS McCook did something incredibly dangerous. The maneuver, they ignored the risk of running aground and steered their massive
Operation
ships
Pluto.
into shallow
Underwater
water,
pipes pumping fuel
just
from
hundreds
England
of
to
yards
Normandy,
from the shore.
bypassing Iraq's
The
threats.
result from point-blank range.
These innovations
They
secured our
fired their
foothold in
5-inch
Europe.
guns directly into the concrete slits of the wider stands and stir. This direct fire finally silenced